Wondering how to write grade 9 essays? Keep watching this video to find out how to write the best essays for GCSE History, English Lit and English Language. History and English aren't the easiest subjects in the world, and sometimes it can feel like there's so much to learn. But I promise you, if you can nail structure and hit the mark scheme, then life will be a whole lot simpler. It's definitely easier said than done, but with a bit of practice, you can get that grade that you want on results day. For this video, it will be split into 3 different sections with timestamps in the description below for you to skip around as necessary. Hope you find it useful. So much to do in so little time, and what even are these questions? Let's go through all of that in this section. So if you're in year 11 like me and your school spent the whole of year 10 going through English literature, then you'll know that English language is a completely other subject. No more learning quotes. Instead, now you have to write essays in much less time on texts that you've never seen before that you'll have to go through and analyze. Yeah, but for English language, practicing those different types of essays is the way forward. So for English language, there are 5 questions on both paper 1 and paper 2. Question 5 is the longest and hardest one and makes up about half the marks of the paper, so it's really important you know how to ace that one. Yeah, so question 1 for paper 1 is pretty simple, just writing down 4 points from the text. Question 2 is more like a language analysis essay, something probably similar to what happens in English literature. Then question 3 is a structure essay. But what you should talk about here is how the mood changes, the introduction of some characters increases the tension. All that is amazing for structuring and answering question 3. So yeah, for question 4, you have to talk about the critical comment normally made by a student or teacher. So what you would say is agree with it 3 different ways, and in my experience that's the best way to get full marks. So agree 3 different ways and agree with the statement and how the text reflects that. Then for question 5, the story, the best thing I can say is to show and not tell. Yeah, you might have heard that, but I'll give you an example. Telling would be, oh, it was dark. Showing might be how the night encompassed the landscape. I wouldn't recommend using that one because that's something I made up on the spot and it's pretty bad. Last thing I can say for English language is to use resources like online resources as well as your teacher. So use stuff like Mr. Bruff and the practice essays. I'll link all of that in the description below for all of you guys to check out. But I highly recommend doing that and then doing practice. And definitely check out Mr. Bruff. He has amazing videos on both English literature and language. I really hope these tips are helpful. And if so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button. Also, comment below any video ideas that you'd like me to make in the future. We're so close to 400 subscribers and I can't thank you guys enough for your support and the amazing growth that the channel is going through. That 1K goal is getting so much closer and closer than I ever possibly imagined. But now let's get back onto the tips for English literature. Macbeth, and as an inspector calls, there's too much work to go through and we have to remember all these quotes. It definitely seems like a lot of work, but if other people can get those grade 7s, 8s and 9s, then so can you. As I mentioned in my last video, there's a holy trinity for English literature that I swear by: notes, quotes and context. It changed the way I write my essays and revise quotes, and it will definitely change the way you write yours. So for every quote you learn, you should go with the extra mile and learn a bit of language analysis with it. So for example, is it a metaphor, is it evocative, or what does it portray? And then the other thing you should learn is social context. This doesn't apply to every quote, but is very useful if it does. For example, in An Inspector Calls, Mr. and Mrs. Burling's relationship portrays elements of class insecurity and classism, and all of this will make writing the essay under time conditions so much easier and will get you those top marks. Well, you may be saying, Ahmed, it's not that we don't know how to revise quotes, but it's more that we don't know how to write the essays. And for that, all I can say is practice. I go on so much about practice on this channel, but practice is so important and so many people don't know that it's good. And yes, writing an entire essay for English every night isn't exactly efficient, so even if it's just a paragraph and then showing it to your teacher or that friend you have that's really good at English, that's definitely the way forward and that's still practice, so you're definitely doing good revision there. Oh my god, the content. Just how much of the Cold War even is there? Why do they even have to have another conference every month? Yeah, history has so much content to go through. Just take a look at this comment posted on my video a week ago. Poor dude had to go through 90 pages worth of history content. Like, that's a lot. 90 pages. Yeah, but for history, it's really doable, like everything else in this video. And if you hack the system and just tweak it just right, then history can really easily be one of your highest grades. For learning the content, I recommend making flashcards of names, faces, and dates of leaders, conferences, and uprisings. And I also recommend using Anki or Quizlet to do this, whatever works best for you. If you don't want to make flashcards yourself or don't have the time to because mocks are getting closer by the day, then what I also recommend is using Seneca. Search up your course on the free version or paid version of Seneca, whichever one you have. Do the questions that they give to practice the content. Now to answer the questions. I'm pretty sure for most people it's not the content revision that's hard, but more how to do the questions. But the best tip here is if you know how to structure the questions and make them easy for the examiner to mark, you're automatically much more likely to get higher grades. I'll show you a few examples of questions that I've done in class that got either full marks or close to. In history, there are 4 main types of questions: narrative, consequence, source, and descriptive. So most of the time it's either 2 or 3 paragraphs, and you just have to know when to write what. Now let's go over some of my answers, but just want to let you know and remind you that anything I talk about in this video, whether it's for history or English, all the resources are linked down below that I use and talk about if you want to check them out, as well as links to past papers if you want to do some practice. Hope all of those resources help you out. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hope this video helped you guys out. I try to go through as many different things as possible in a short video and also go through examples of my own. So let me know if all that was helpful in the comments and also what you'd like to see next. Thanks for all your support on my videos, and I'll see you all next week with a GCSE mocks revision vlog that I think you'll enjoy. Bye for now.